I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.
Today, we will discuss about the top strategies you can use in your life to be dominating in an argument. Strategy number 1. The predator strategy. This strategy simply means you must act the same way to your enemies as a predator acts to its prey. Calm, calculated and confident. It is important at all times that you don't lose your cool. Do not lose your calmness when you feel angry or embarrassed. You must wait for your turn, and while waiting for your turn, you must find the perfect comeback. Your enemy, when they speak something, they always have some kind of an assumption. It's your task to select that and prove them that they have a completely wrong assumption, and use that flaw to attack your enemy. During this tactic, it is important that you don't have any biased thought yourself. For example, let's take one of Winston Churchill's most famous lines was in response to a politician, Bessie Braddock. "Sir, you're drunk," the Prime Minister replied, "and you, Bessie, are ugly. But I shall be sober in the morning, and you will still be ugly." In this, the enemy, Bessie Braddock, tries to find a fault in Winston Churchill's actions, like drinking, and tries to make him feel weak. Now, Winston Churchill finds his enemy's assumption, and he finds the flaw, and not only does lower the effect of his enemy's attack, but also weaken the enemy using a perfect comeback. You just cannot think of a perfect comeback at the moment sometimes. At those moments, it is necessary for you to be silent. It is better to use a comeback in the future by remembering it. Strategy 2. The power of silence. Use the power of silence to create a shock in your enemy. Powerful people impress and intimidate people by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Robert Greene. If someone tries to talk you down or tries to dissuade you from you doing something, just do this. Look at them and smile. This might confuse a person and make him cautious and careful while talking to you next time, because he might think that only a person who understands his plan will do so. This will cause an anticipation in him to ask you why you smiled. Reply with, "You will know it." It is important to do this and work to prove them wrong. And once you succeed in your endeavor, just smile at them again. Look at them in the eyes. They will know and remember that they were a hurdle and feel guilty. The words, when used less, cause confusion in your enemy. And when you use less energy in speaking, you spend more energy in doing things. Be prepared to concede a good point. Don't argue every point for the sake of it. If your enemy makes a valid point, then agree but outweigh it with a different argument. For example, look, I agree with you that prison does not reform prisoners. That is generally true. But prison still acts effectively as a deterrent and a punishment. Strategy 3. Ask questions. If you can ask the right questions, you can stay in control of the discussion and make your opponent scramble for answers. You can ask questions that challenge his point. What evidence do you have for that claim? You can ask hypothetical questions that extrapolate a trend and give your opponent a difficulty. What would happen if every nation did that? Another useful type of question is that calmly provoke your foe. What about this that makes you so angry? Strategy 4. Use logic. Show how one idea follows another. Build your case and use logic to undermine your opponent. Strategy 5. Appeal to higher values. As well as logic, you can use little emotion by appealing to worthy motives that are hard to disagree with. Shouldn't we all be working to make the world a better and safer for our children? Step 6. Listen carefully. Many people are so focused on what they are going to say that they ignore their opponent and assume his arguments. It is better to listen carefully. You will observe weakness and flaws in his position, and sometimes you will hear something new and informative. Step 7. Study your opponent. Know their strengths, their weaknesses, beliefs and values. You can appeal to their higher values. You can exploit their weaknesses by turning their arguments back on them. Step 8. Look for a win-win. Be open-minded to a compromise position that accommodates your main points and some of your opponents. You both cannot win in a boxing match, but you can both win in a negotiation. If you like the video, please do subscribe, like, share and comment.